thankful for waving stories. Hold on to the lifetime we won't get back. I know these rivers carry on. People tend to stick to you after time. Places tend to do the same as we do. This river carries on and on.
Hello and welcome to Kankakee Podcast, where we talk about the people and places of Kankakee County. I'm Jake LaMore, and thank you so much for helping us reach our first birthday. Today, we're doing a live stream. We're recording this episode live on our Facebook page. Exactly a year ago today, we released our first episode, May 10th, 2021. Now it's 2022, May 10th. And here we are, and I first and foremost just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported us from day one. And even if you came in halfway or whenever you started listening to the podcast, thank you so much for all of your love and support. It's truly been an amazing journey. I'm really looking forward to year two and diving deeper into the stories and the people and the history of Kankakee County. It's only going to go up from here. And also, we're, I don't know if you've heard, but we are celebrating with a family picnic this Sunday, May 15th, from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Kankakee County Museum. We're going to have Mia Bella's Woodfire Pizza there, which is sponsored by Edward Jones financial advisor Adam Elroy. Noble Dairy Queen is going to have a dilly bar eating contest. We also have a scavenger hunt that's planned throughout the museum, which is being sponsored by Coldwell banker realtor Allison Ascher. So everyone who completes, every group family that completes the scavenger hunt will be entered into a chance to win a family entertainment package, and it's filled with all kinds of gifts and prizes from Little Me Studio, Chicago Dough Company, Hero City Adventure Park, Brookmont Bowling Center, and Classic Cinemas. Plus, we're also going to have podcast merch for sale. There's going to be a bounce house, thanks to my mom and dad for sponsoring that, covering the money for that. We're going to have other games as well, like bags, things like that. And I'm just looking forward to celebrating with everyone because this is not my podcast. It's our podcast. Haley Bug Lemonade is also going to be selling lemonade as well. That's very important that I want to highlight. So what we are doing for our 1-year anniversary, I ran a contest on our website just in the I guess we did it really quick. It was just like within the last week where we gave you the option to nominate a guest for a live streamed episode of Kankakee Podcast. You could choose, you could nominate a guest or even nominate a topic of someone within Kankakee County. Thank you to everyone who nominated someone. And the idea was to take all of those nominations that you gave us, mix them all up, shuffle them all up, and just randomly pick one. And we were going to reveal who ended up being the winner, what person or place or thing ended up being the topic of discussion. And we're about to do the big reveal right now. So I'm really, really excited to welcome someone I used to work with side by side every morning for almost 4 years, 3-ish years, we'll get into that, on the Wake and Jake morning show on WFAV. Please welcome Jessica Bessette, or better known as Bess Jess.
Hello.
Hi, Bess Jess. How are you?
Hello. I'm better now. I feel so honored to be here. It's so exciting. Although I just don't know what to do with my hands, so we're going to start out with right here.
Well, that's okay, because some people that are either listening, most people are probably listening to this episode versus watching it. I mean, they might be watching it, but if they're not, then you don't have to worry about
Very true.
the hands. But the fact that people can watch this too, they can see what you're doing.
All the excited French hand movements and my anxious... I tell people all the time, you guys, when I'm talking on the radio, I'm rubbing my legs. It sounds really awkward, but it's just how I get my anxious energy out.
Does that get... Well, it probably depends on what you're wearing that day, like jeans or leggings or yoga pants or a dress or...
You know I can't wear yoga pants or leggings to work, Jake.
Oh,
Why would you bring that up right now?
That's right. I forgot about that.
But yeah, it doesn't really matter what I wear. I'm always just...
Well, one thing I noticed is that, and it probably... Yeah, it kind of gets picked up here. One thing I notice I do when I'm at the radio station and I'm on the air, I don't know if I really have this habit when I'm podcasting, but I definitely have this habit when I'm on the air, and that's rubbing my hands.
Yep.
And I think that gets picked up more. It's not getting picked up so much on the mics here in the podcast studio, but in the radio station, those mics pick it up a lot more.
I'll be listening for that from now on. But now you just
Dude,
you look like a diabolical genius. You just like are hatching a plan right now.
Excellent.
What's going on?
Oh goodness. So Jessica Bessette, better known as Bess Jess, which you can thank me for that, or hate me for that.
Yep.
So when I started hosting Wake and Shake on WFAV in 2017, it was in 2018, right? Sometime in 2018. It was later in 2018, I think.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be early 2019 or like super late 2018, yeah.
Yeah. I want to say you started sitting in with me before you were actually on the air, talking on the air during the morning show on WFAV at that time. And then I think it was by the new year, by 2019, is when you were officially on the air for 1 hour a day during the Wake and Jake morning show.
Thanks for that, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome. Well,
yeah.
I had, Jim Brandt at the time, who was the operations director, and program director. I had told him I wanted someone to talk to because, the other Milner media stations, you would have the chance to be able to talk to the news anchor during your show.
And they're like homies. I literally hear Rob and Mike Tamano laughing hysterically. Their laughs echo through the hallways every morning and all by myself. So I get it.
Yeah. And, well, of course they're homies because they've known each other for so long. They worked together years and years ago, and now they're back together working. But yeah, I wanted someone to talk to, and you had expressed interest in being on the air because you were a sales representative at the time for Milner Media. So it just kind of worked out. And then eventually, I think it was either in late 2019 or starting in 2020, they're like, we're going to put you on for another hour during Wake and Jake.
Yeah.
And then you got your own show eventually. You started doing middays, right?
Yep.
Or were you doing...
No,
you were doing afternoons.
Yep, that was the 3 to 7, 7 days a week.
But you started afternoons on River, right?
I was on River Country for all of a month until they were like, Jess, Denny is not the biggest fan of Ariana Grande. Let's just put that out there. And I love them both, so it just made sense.
I was going to say, I don't know if Denny wants people to know that, but I think he's posted about that on Facebook.
I picked that on purpose, yeah.
I think he's posted that on Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable releasing that information to the public.
Yeah, because I'm sure if someone really wanted to, they could find it on... They could dig through Facebook and find it or whatever. But
so yeah, it was the countryside, and I loved country, but you're to blame for Bess Jess, and it's only because you couldn't remember my email address. It was bess.jess, and he'd always email jess.bess, and I'd be like, Jake, it's the other way around.
Yeah, it's backwards,
yeah.
and that's why I started calling you Bess Jess, so I would remember your email address, and because the behind-the-scenes job I had at Milner Media at the time was the production director who's in charge of recording and producing commercials, which a lot of people actually do at the station. I obviously wasn't the only one. And so we had to email a copy of the spot to the sales rep.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would always email. Man, I think everybody upstairs, on all the on-air personalities, would get it wrong for a while.
Yes.
But
Yep.
that's where I started calling you Bess Jess, and then it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, it
So
took a
I'm
little
sorry
bit.
about that.
It was a little bit of fight at first. It was like some people thought it was Best Jess, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll take that. And then
People still think it's Best Jess, like with a
Yes.
T, but it's Bess.
yes, and the fact of the matter is, I had someone for the longest time tell me that they are number one Jessie. So just to have someone tell me I'm the best Jess, I feel like that's the umbrella.
Yeah.
And just number one.
I just don't know why. I think and of course you're on River Country now too.
Yep.
I feel like on River Country you should be Bessie Jessie.
Oh my God. Don't spread that around, Bessie Jessie.
Come on, you sound like a perfect cowgirl.
Oh gosh.
It's Bessie Jessie.
I mean, I feel like Best Jess still kind of works, but I don't want to be Bessie Jessie. Please don't pass that around.
Why not?
Gosh, I was called Bessette for a long time.
Yeah.
Bessette for a long time.
I can't say that.
See.
Say that 10 times fast.
Bessette. That's the only thing I can say 10 times fast, apparently. Everything else sounds like cursive.
Well, that
All right.
wasn't quite 10.
I
Should
have,
we count?
I have ADD, and no one's got time for that. I'd forget what I was saying halfway through and start saying something else.
All right. I think we kind of dived in kind of the middle as far as your story goes as Jessica Bessette.
Yeah.
And not as Bess Jess. But that's kind of that's a shorter version of how the Bess Jess story goes.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And I'm just surprised we're 15 minutes in to this recording, and I haven't said the thing yet, which is really surprising.
It is.
Maybe it'll happen later.
That is what she said. I got the first one.
Oh.
That's right. I'm so excited.
But you are born and raised in Kankakee County.
Yep. Born and raised in St. Anne, like right by the Elks Country Club. My mom, she was a homemaker at first, but then she worked for like Cigna, and she's always just been this super friendly woman. She goes to church, she loves her garden, and she's still in the same home I grew up in. I love that. My dad was the park district president for a long time, and it was always so much fun going around with him to places like helping design the water park. We went to lots of places to look for what do we want on the water park whenever they put it there, and the ice rink and all that stuff was so much fun.
Did you get to actually choose what? Were you the one that put the lazy river in there and now it's not there anymore?
The only thing I 100% wanted was that cyclone thing, that like giant tube that you slid in it and you like did these giant circles. But that did not happen. So clearly, no.
Yeah, it was it was like a slide.
I feel like my opinion was just kind of heard, maybe, tolerated, but it was not up to me.
Time. At that time, what? You were in junior high?
No.
Or a little younger?
Yeah, I was probably in high school. No, it was high school for sure, because we were traveling along for my travel softball. I played 3 different softball teams every single year. I had travel ball all summer long, I had league ball all summer, and I had school ball. So this is my first year in 30 years not playing softball, actually.
You're not playing softball?
I'm not playing softball.
Not playing the adult rec leagues?
Nope, not this year, honestly, though, but it's still spring.
Did you hurt yourself?
No, it's just, busy work schedules and stuff, and everyone's teams have kind of fallen apart and rejoined, and so it's totally fine. I'm taking a hiatus. There's 2 other seasons, so I mean, I can still get into summer or something.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to take a break once in a while.
I'm getting old, I'm not as good as I once was. I kind of want to go out on a high note, but I just grew up right outside St. Anne. I went to Bishop Mack for high school. I graduated in 2005. That's about it. I went to KCC briefly, but
you did? I guess I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then I quit, and I worked at a restaurant for a little while. I was the customer service person.
And that's the restaurant That was the warehouse at the time. No, that wasn't warehouse.
No, this is way before the warehouse days. This is Red Lobster days.
You worked at Red Lobster. I guess I forgot about that.
I mean, it was way back in the day.
You got fired for eating all the cheddar biscuits, didn't you?
If Mandy, the manager, is listening or watching, I apologize. I swear it was the croutons and the ranch dressing or the cucumbers and the Caesar dressing. But the biscuits, yes, were definitely a number.
I mean, let's be honest. That's why everyone goes to Red Lobster, is just for the biscuits.
Endless shrimp.
The shrimp? You like the shrimp?
Endless shrimp.
Oh, the endless shrimp.
Yes.
That's true.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
And they only have that usually certain times of the year, right?
Yep. Where you can just push or reorder. Yeah. It's fantastic.
And they've got a billion different flavors, too, of shrimp and different kinds of shrimp.
Scampi.
Yeah.
I feel like Forrest Gump's friend, Bubba there.
We're going to be here for the next 20 minutes.
You can fry it, you can broil it, yeah. Talking about different kinds of shrimp. But no, I worked there for a while, and then I actually was a customer service representative for that awful company that sold the male enhancement drugs. And
oh yeah,
yeah.
That was one of my favorite stories.
Yeah, that was awful. I mean,
yeah.
So you had are we allowed to talk about that?
I mean, I think you're okay.
Are we okay?
I mean, you're going to use like appropriate words. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, so, I think we're safe on that.
Fuzz in my nose.
might be a spider web or
if
something.
I make funny faces, I'm used to being on the radio. So.
Yeah, we work in radio. We don't know how cameras work.
So yeah, I worked for customer service. This was a third-party distribution center. So someone else sold whatever it was, and we just shipped it out, and we were the customer service. So it was like hearing, vitamins to help people's hearing if it was going out. So people would call us and scream at us on the phone because they couldn't hear us. So we're all screaming at someone. I mean, it's a call center. We're all screaming at some random man on the phone because he can't hear us, and that was frustrating. But the worst was definitely the male enhancement drugs, because you got, we shipped out the drugs, but then like the freebie, your free gift, you get a special gift with that sort of stuff, that came from Canada. So people would call us upset that the free gift didn't get there. And, we had to instruct them to call Canada, or someone ended up on the mailing list for this product. They didn't want to be on the mailing list for this product.
And they got very offended by said product.
And they would call and yell at you. And so that was fun.
And yet again, probably dealing with people who can't hear well, because stereotypically, the people who are on said drug or substance or medication of whatever you want to call it, are elderly or older. Even if I was on it, I would probably, because I'm hard of hearing already, and I'm only almost 32, so.
I think if I was asking someone to explain to me how this was supposed to work, I'd ask it in a very low register. I wouldn't want anyone to hear me.
Yeah, well, they're probably at home alone.
Yeah, but that was probably the worst part. Like, I can't read a dirty book in public without turning red in the face, so having to explain to this person on the phone, you're supposed to put the breast strip on your tongue, and you're supposed to, that's just, I was not equipped for that. I lasted 3 weeks. I literally called the place. I said, I know you don't hire anyone out before they leave their current job, but I'm going to need you to look for one now so I can leave tomorrow because I just can't do it anymore. I didn't last very long.
Did you get the job through like a temp agency or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's how I got the Milner Media job when I was 18 also.
That's right.
Yeah, I was the receptionist filling in for Erica.
But is that where... After the customer service job, it wasn't Milner, right?
It might have been a pool store in between.
Okay.
I might have managed a pool store in between.
Well, when did you work at the warehouse restaurant?
Oh, gosh, that's eons later.
That was later.
I feel like I've lived so many lives now that I think about it. So that was when I got back from Washington, which today is National Washington Day. So I've literally been talking about it all day. But yeah,
that's a whole nother story too.
When I got back from Washington, I worked at the warehouse and the Village Pub, and I worked at the bank still. I had 3 jobs trying to regain that money.
Well, okay, so let's go back then. So after the call center, the customer service job.
Yep.
Sorry, I just can't think of that story without laughing.
It was awful.
Yeah. That sounds like a segment you would watch on like a late night show.
Yep. And I see my old manager all the time. She's like in my social circle. So like on occasion I'll see her. I'll be like, gosh, remember that?
Remember that job?
Remember we worked there?
Yeah.
Awful.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, after that, where did you go?
I think I managed a pool store, honestly.
Oh, that's right.
I think I was the manager of a pool store. And the owner will fight me on this to the day, but we're all really good friends. But my friend Josh worked there with me. And apparently one of my coworkers was looking at a questionable site while he was at work. And I'm telling you, it was my friend Josh.
Why is it always going back to these adult things?
That's what I'm saying.
What is it?
It was my friend Josh, all right? I'm going to blame Josh. But anyways, so...
We won't give Josh his last name.
Oh, no. Yeah, we won't tarnish his reputation like that. But no, so I did get fired from that one. I do remember. I see him all the time.
For that incident?
Yeah.
For calling out that person for looking at said...
They looked at
website?
the previously viewed websites, or they got a report of some sort of what
Did they
websites.
think it was you?
Well, I was the manager on duty, so it doesn't really matter,
Oh.
And Josh did say it was me, and I will go to bat. It was not, but it's okay. I digress. It's fine. But no, I worked there for a little while. And then I think I went to Milner Media. I think it was Milner Broadcasting at the time. I was the receptionist. I sat at the front desk. I always wanted to be on air. I went up and sat with Kate Douglas for a little while. She was on River Country, but watching someone push the buttons.
This would have been around, what, mid-2000s, right?
Yeah,
or late
2006 or 7. Yeah, probably 2007, because I graduated high school in 2005, and I was 17. So.
Yeah, that's what I knew. It was just maybe a couple years after high school.
And I worked at a bank in between there also as a receptionist.
Yeah.
Just
but
being
you were a
temp.
receptionist for, what, at least 2 years?
At the radio station?
Yeah.
A year and a half.
A year and a half. Okay, I was close. That story in itself is
I'm just laughing at it right now.
Funny.
I'm laughing at myself crying in Chris Wayne's office.
Talking about getting fired.
Yeah.
You were chronically late, right?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
I was chronically late.
Is that even the right way to? I don't know.
is.
I'm just using random words.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that that's fine. I was habitually late. I lived in Sandee at the time, and I've never been someone that's on time. My slogan, worth the wait. Always late, worth the wait. See, I messed that up. But yeah, so I was late quite often. But this particular morning, it was a very stressful morning. My car transmission kept going out on the way to work. Now, this was on Armour Road, I believe, not even to Menards yet. And my dad and me kept jump-starting my car and pushing it. We pushed it the last half mile into the radio station parking lot. And then I went into work. And I had called and everything, but it was just the last time I was allowed to be late. And Jackie laid into me in the most spectacular fashion ever. Just basically, I was unreliable, and I had to call my dad. He had to come get me. He had a few choice words for Jackie Milner, which they laugh about this day. They laugh about it now. But Tim came up to me 3 years later at the bank, was like, "What happened to you?" I left for a weekend or a vacation.
Right, because Tim Milner, our boss, was not there. And his mother was Jackie. She was still an owner of one of the owners of the station. May she rest in peace. She was amazing.
Yes.
She truly was.
Yes.
Very sweet, very kind-hearted.
Yep.
Lived a long life, too.
Yes, and she was just, incredible. I just had a flashback of not giving people backstories. They don't know that's your cousin, Jess. They don't know that this is your friend.
Right.
I get it now.
Yeah, just to explain, Jackie Milner, was one of the original owners of Milner Media, or Milner Broadcasting, actually. And so yeah, she was finally fed up with you being late so many times.
Yeah, and Tim was gone.
And Tim was on vacation at the time.
Yep.
And so you had obviously never stepped foot, never talked to, anyone again. But then was it literally right after you got fired, did you start working at Municipal? Is that when?
I sold Leah Sophia. Gosh. That is not a thing for someone who doesn't.
Leah Sophia?
The jewelry sales. You go to people's houses. They had those jewelry parties. And oh, gosh. I'm not a person to get up in front of a crowd and just sell anything. So that was fun.
That's a tough gig.
I think it lasted maybe a month. And then I moved on I worked at the bank. Yeah, I went to Municipal Bank. I didn't expect to stay there. Math was my least favorite subject. I'm awful at it.
I can attest to that.
Yes, thank you.
And we're both awful. Maybe that's why we worked so well together.
We're creative
in
types.
The morning. Yeah, we both still suck at math.
It's the Blue Man Group there. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I thought I wasn't going to last there at all. I thought it was just going to be a temporary gig. I ended up staying for 5 years or so before I moved to Washington, and then I stayed for an extra 3 after that. So I just kept working there.
And when you went to Washington, you weren't. How long were you there? And I know it was for a significant other, which we won't name as well. We won't name that person.
Okay.
But your journey out there is always interesting.
Yeah. I reconnected with my high school sweetheart. I started my whole concept out with that earlier today in 2013. But it was just, I was going through a hard time, and he was stationed in Bellingham, Washington for the Coast Guard. And
I guess I forgot he was in the Coast Guard.
And his family had moved to Washington, and I loved them when they had lived here. So they lived in Kankakee growing up. They sold their house. The daughter, too, and they both bought these boats that they just sailed the Seattle Sound, and they lived on them. So the son was there, the parents were there, so I went out for a visit, and I had so much fun.
And they just lived on their boats?
Yeah.
They didn't have...
Yeah, with their dogs and everything, and their kids. I don't know how it happened, but it worked for them. It worked for them. I brought the cat with me when I moved.
It must have been some big boats.
It was a big boat. I would never be able to afford that boat, but that's okay, you know? I'm on radio, you know?
Yeah, you're not going to afford the
That's okay. I'm pretty sure one of them worked for the Board of Trade, or both of them. That's brain-hurting work, so that's fine.
Yes, back to math.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just went out there for a brief visit, and while I was out there, I had such a nice time. I, ate the fresh-caught oysters. I went to Pike Street Market. I went to Bellingham, and I actually had, rifle target training from their weapons specialist, which was so much fun. And I just, when I left, it was kind of like I was just going to go back. Yeah. You really couldn't stop me. I was going back whether I wanted to or not. I came home. I told my job I was leaving in a month, and I sold everything I owned in my storage unit. I packed the cat up, and we headed out on a very difficult journey, which should have been a very good sign for the destination. But yeah, I mean, the trip to Washington itself the second time around was awful. It was like the plane got a command for a different United flight and slammed on its brakes when it didn't need to. So the flight attendants went tumbling down the aisle. We had to taxi back. We had to wait for a whole new flight crew to come. And I had my cat with me.
Yeah, I remember your cat was with you.
And
at the
she's
time.
in this carrier forever. And she is not a cat that you can take out and just hang with. She would claw me to death and then disappear.
Well, you probably had to give her, people give their pets some type of pill. I don't know what it is exactly, or some type of medication to.
Those don't
calm
work
them.
for her.
Those don't work.
It's like melatonin for me. It's like bonanza in the brain, no matter
I just
what.
don't remember what they call it.
I don't know what they gave her. I do know that
they.
Yeah.
Oh, you did give her something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But did it work?
No. And the way back is a better story, okay? I promise. But we finally get to Washington after we get the whole new plane and everything, and my cats fit in there. But that was fun. I lived there for about 3 weeks. The person I went there with realized that I was going to be in their home every time they got back from work, and I didn't have any friends, so that was not fun. But other than that, though, I really enjoyed exploring on my own. I've never been anywhere on my own. I've been pretty sheltered, if I do say so myself. So living somewhere else and having my entire day by myself going to explore this new place was awesome. I'd go to the market, I'd go to the tanning salon, I'd, do dumb things. But it was just me. I didn't have a job at the time, and I was only there for a brief moment, and that was so fun. But I was supposed to make the trip from Washington to California and then fly home from California. However, we had decided that I should probably leave from Washington, and they make that trip on their own. So when I came back, I gave my cat the half sedative like I was supposed to.
Yeah.
But I was in this great emergency row. There was not a seat for 2 people in front of me. It was great. So I give her little thing, and she rolls. When we take off, we go up, she rolls. Just tumble rolls in her carrier. So then I have to...
Down the aisle?
Yes.
Oh
So the guy
gosh.
in front of me put his arm out and was like, I got her.
How
Thank you.
embarrassing is that? Scary and embarrassing at
and
the
honestly,
same time.
This was my connection. So before all this happened, I was in the back of the plane. The steward told me that my animal could not be on my lap like it was on my way there. Like her carrier was just sitting on my lap. So I put her on the floor. Well, the vibration in the back of the plane really tweaked her out because she clawed the zipper open. And this chick is in first class. All of a sudden, this really snooty steward comes back and is like, Miss, is your animal in her carrier? I'm like, yes. What do you mean? I look down, I'm like, oh, no, she's not. So can you imagine being that person on the plane that felt this fuzzy being rub past their leg underneath all the chairs? So she was in first class. I had to go up and get her.
I think that says everything about a cat. Yeah. She's prissy and I belong in first class.
Yep. And I'm wearing this bright, hot pink T-shirt, and I'm just carrying this cat down the aisle, and everyone is eyeing me. So in between my connection now, I have 4 people coming up. Where are you sitting on this plane? I'm allergic to cats. Oh, great.
No.
Now I am the cat woman on this plane. But yeah.
Everybody is just loving you at this point.
So I call the vet, and I'm like, guys, I gave her the half a sedative. She got out. She clawed her way out of this carrier. They said, give her the other half and just monitor her breathing. She should just go right to sleep. I'm like, okay, great. No, she's still awake, just staring at me like, why are we here? The whole way home. So
Did she make a lot of noises?
no, she just was looking at me cross-eyed, and I felt really bad because I'm like, oh no.
Because she's drugged.
Yes, but why don't you go to sleep? I would want to go to sleep.
It just didn't work on her.
No, but
Oh my gosh.
traveling with the cat was stressful. But
Yeah.
I couldn't have left her, so.
No.
And it was only 3
absolutely.
weeks, it wasn't too bad, so.
You only lived in Washington for 3 weeks.
I was supposed to be there for 3 months, but their plans changed, being the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Instead of being stationed there for I think it was supposed to be 3 months and then go to Guam, they were going to go to school for 2 months and then find a new place to station or whatever.
I
so,
see.
yeah, so my 3 months went down to 3 weeks, which I feel like was pretty ideal for that individual. I feel like any more than 3 weeks, they would have packed up my bags and shipped me home.
You're right. You're like, thank goodness I wasn't there any longer.
No, but
Would've died.
the parents love me, so I still go. Whenever I go to Seattle, I make sure to stop and say hi to them. So
Yeah.
they're my favorite.
Simon Topless commented.
Do not shade me for this. Hello, Simon. Just because that's the one thing I said to you that I cannot forget.
That's exactly what his comment is. He says, every time I bump into Jess, she adopts an English accent. He said, our conversations were like a bad episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show.
I tell people all the time, I get so awkward in public and they don't understand. And I always give them that story. I'm like, for instance, my friend, you sound like you're from London. Or and we've talked about this. And I literally one day I ran into him. It was like, hello, Simon. Oh, God, why'd you do that? Like, in immediate moment.
It's a good thing Simon has a good sense of humor.
Yes, he's fantastic.
Yeah, great guy.
Hi, Simon.
Yeah, and we had Simon on the podcast recently, if you haven't listened to that
Did see
episode
that, though.
yet.
I was so excited. That's why I felt so honored. I was like, man, we got Lizzie Carroll, Matt Yeager. I even saw Mike Tamano, Rob West. Like, whoo.
You were
Talented company here.
You happen to be one of the nominated people in
so excited.
in the mixture, and
excited.
that's the one we picked out. Yay. So, getting back to you're in Seattle, it doesn't work out.
Right.
You come back home, you start working at Municipal Bank again, and then I remember this very well. You started working. You went back to Milner Media. That's when you went back to Milner Media as a sales rep, and I'll never forget it because that was when my son Owen was born.
Oh, yeah.
I think you started there. It was either like the week right before he was born or like that week he was born, because I remember coming back and you were there.
There she is.
And
This loud chick. Who? What is she here for? This weirdo.
I won't deny that.
It's
but
okay.
you could equally say so many things about me as well. I mean, we both had to put up with each other every morning, like
No
a
one
married
understood
couple.
that. They were like, I spent more time with you consecutively than I have with any man. Literally ever.
And I got paid.
That's so great. I told my dad a long time ago the fact that I haven't found someone is because he doesn't have a dowry. If there was a dowry, I would be set. But no.
Say, Dad, can you help me out?
No dowry. And they were
Yeah.
like, I want none of this. Never mind. But yeah, I worked at the bank for a while. I was just the teller. I remember one of the board members, Pat Gilmore, used to say that I don't need a microphone. They could hear me in the Jewel parking lot. So,
well, we can always hear you in the hallways
yes.
the radio
And that's
station.
awful because I sing loudly with headphones on in the studio, and I always tell myself that no one heard that. I'm like, nailed it. No one heard it. They do.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yep. Every time.
And then sometimes, yeah, you're right. I'd come out the door and you'd be sitting right behind that very thin wall, and I'm like, oh, God. Jake LaMore was there. Or when I introduced My Chemical Romance as Green Day one day, that was something.
We've all been there.
Yeah, but in front of you, of all people.
I think I was in the other room and I heard, I was outside the door, and because I had a desk there.
Yeah.
Not
my
right
desk.
outside of the door of the WFAV studio, there was a couple desks. Or there still is a couple desks. And yeah, I was sitting there, and
Yep.
I just happened to have heard it. But believe me.
In front of the Green Day expert. Like, gosh.
But believe me, I've messed up so many times on the air. And it's the worst, when you get called out by especially a listener, and they're either angry or they're just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or-
But it is what it is. You move on.
Yeah.
And
Or you could be like me and you look at your phone and your friend Chad, which is the scariest sentence you're ever going to see on your phone from Chad is, we're making fun of you in my guy's group chat right now. What? Oh, that's all you're going to tell me? It's because I introduced Wyclef Jean as Wyclef Jean. It was a very long week. It was the last thing I was saying before I signed off. Okay. Anyways, they never forget. They never forget those things.
No.
So.
Just like, I think one of my most embarrassing moments on the air was with you.
Yeah.
And during Wake and Shake one day, we were doing one of our contests. I can't remember which one it was. It was that one when they called in and they were live. You know that? Like, It was a contest where we'd put the caller live on the air. I think it was Finish the Lyric.
Okay,
I think that's what it was. It was the Finish the Lyric contest. So we'd put the caller live on the air. We'd play a little snippet of a song, and they'd have to finish the rest of the lyric, whatever comes after that snippet or whatever. And so I always ask the listener to stay on the air after we get done talking on the air because they have to get their
information.
Their information, their mailing address and all that stuff, and their full name. And our phone system, for some reason, when a caller hangs up before we would hang it up in the studio, it would project this super sharp pain.
Yep.
Or not pain,
feedback.
but sound.
It was like that really sharp feedback
It
noise.
was a super sharp feedback sound. If we in the studio didn't physically hang up the phone first.
Yep.
And so this in particular time, it happened on the air, and it just, we're
startled.
We're wearing headphones,
yes.
And it's blasting in your ears, and I obviously, I don't know, I must not have been in a good mood or something, but it got me at a bad time, and I think I said did I say GD on the, I think that's what I said.
No, I think you said
or did I just
SOB.
say Dan?
I think you said SOB.
No.
Like you didn't call them that, but you're like, I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, I can
text her if you want me to, because she reminds me on occasion.
Does she? See, that's what I'm talking about. It's so embarrassing. I know for sure I said damn in some way.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
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 And
But yeah, the funny thing is your most embarrassing, but it's probably like one of her cherished memories, because she's like, oh my God, because to her it wasn't offensive. It didn't it wasn't.
And I felt so bad because what I
giggled.
said, what I said was like, I was like, damn it, you're not supposed to hang up.
Yeah.
And I said that on the air. And of course, all these people heard it because at that point I thought I had turned my mic off for being on the air. I thought my mic was no longer broadcasting on the air at that point.
Yeah, and then that feedback sound came.
And so all of this just happened so quickly. I didn't realize my mic was on live, and that happened over the air. And there was actually a song playing during that time as well, but people could still hear my microphone over the song.
Oh yeah.
And so I remember, I think there was a meeting. I was pulled into. I mean, how could I not be?
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
I messed up.
Yeah.
But that was one of my most embarrassing. I've had many embarrassing moments, but that was one of the most. And you're like, okay, I know you didn't say because I didn't drop the F-bomb.
No, yep,
I know
yep.
I didn't say SOB. Okay. So I was in the clear as far as that was concerned, those words, but I was not in the clear as far as saying something derogatory
on the air.
Live on the radio.
But no one really knew how much you did at one time while you're on the radio. People just think that we sit in a room or you especially, you sat in a room and you just, talked and then you piped the mic down and you did your thing.
Yeah, but there's no excuses.
No, but
I am not excusing
you're
my
not
behavior.
Excused. You are not
I'm not excused. I am not excusing my behavior for that mishap.
Yeah.
It just happened, and I don't remember the next time we had a break, if I apologized, I can't.
I think you did.
I think I did. I think
Yep.
I did because
I think we were hoping that no one heard it, but then like.
Oh, we got Facebook
I
comment
think
after
someone,
Facebook comment.
And then it was like,
after
okay,
that.
well, we can't deny that one.
Oh,
so
man.
we had to apologize. Okay,
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
bad. And it's so funny, of course, as I'm telling this story.
Is it Renee?
No. Patrick Skelly is joining us, and he's a deacon.
Hi.
And I said that I might have said GD.
Oh, no.
And obviously that's a big... I'm sorry, Deke. I honestly can't remember, and I don't have a recording of it, but Travis Garcia also piping in.
Oh, hi, Travis.
He said, "Who's that girl?" It's Jess.
It's Jess. Yay. I want to bartend that party when you guys have it next time. That was legitimately fun.
Oh, you've bartend. That's right,
Yeah.
Travis Garcia.
Let me tell you
him and
what,
his-
Travis Garcia throws a good party.
Yeah, we should also, he is officially a father.
Yes.
him
Congratulations.
Him and his beautiful wife, Kirsten.
Yes.
Beautiful baby girl.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love
Congratulations
it.
to both.
So many amazing couples this year in the last several months are just having the cutest of babies, and I'm so excited for them. But you guys keep that.
Oh, okay. Lizzie, my girlfriend, just chimed in about the story I was just telling.
Okay.
And this is what made that situation so funny. It was literally right before I said those bad words on the air that I told listeners remember I would always say before I would put the listener live on the air, not to say anything
Those naughty
bad.
words.
Those naughty
Those
words.
naughty words.
Well, Lizzie was just reminding me that
Did not
my
heed your own-
incident, my incident happened right after I said those naughty words. I said,
Yep.
just so you know, can't say any naughty words because we're putting you live on the radio and we don't have a delay. So, oh my gosh.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
see, I think, that is definitely what made that moment more embarrassing.
It's like when my girlfriend used to say before she left me, make good choices. And I'd be like, of course. And then I would
Then you
not, in
don't.
fact, make good choices. Or she'd be like, make good choices. And then she would not, in fact, make good choices. It's kind of like that, I think. But now she makes fantastic choices. So I'm very proud of her.
Oh my gosh, man.
Those were the days.
Yeah, that was more of a story about me. But I'm
No
sure
way, it's
you
a good
have
story.
you have a story you probably want to share about.
Oh, no. Anything?
It could be anything,
Oh,
or it
man.
could be from the Wake and Jake days.
Honestly,
or-
my favorite memories, and I hate to say they're my favorite and my not so favorite, is every time I accidentally startled you by doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, that's another funny story.
Turns into an angry elf the minute you startle him, which is fine.
Well, I know it happened more than once, but there was just the one time. The one time it happened, it was the absolute worst.
Yeah.
And I was so
All day.
angry
All day.
day long.
Day long.
So the way the WFAV studio is set up, your back is to the door.
Yes.
You cannot see
No,
who's coming in.
but they can see you.
They can see us because there's a little window.
Yeah.
And this was, I don't know if this was before the window was there.
Oh,
or
yeah.
what. Regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, you still can't see if someone's opening the door or
Right.
not. And let's say you've got headphones on. And
Music's going, commercials,
Sure.
whatever. Yeah.
Even if your headphones aren't on, the speakers could be obviously playing the station or whatever. So anyway, one day, Bess Jess comes in, and I don't remember if this was during, if this was after our morning show that day,
I think it was during the morning show that day.
when it was.
Yeah.
But I did not hear her. She just comes in, and all of a sudden, just
Bam.
and I just flipped out. I was because you scared me
Yeah.
so bad.
Yep. And I it's not that I warn new employees that like Jake's angry elf when you scare him, but like people always ask me for secrets. I'm like, you can't call a certain person by his last name only, and you cannot scare Jake LaMore because he'll be mad at you all day.
And once again, my girlfriend chiming in, she says she can attest to Jake being easily startled, which makes him a tad bit grumpy. But that day I was so mad, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
Oh, however, 3 or 4 years later,
It's okay.
however many years.
It's funny because some memories that maybe not maybe weren't the funnest or the best memories, I should say, like at the moment. Later on, you just look back and you chuckle. You're like, man, look at that. That was so funny.
Gosh.
So funny. I know. I kept trying to think earlier today, like my favorite Wake and Jake moments, but I had so many. Like we had so much fun in the morning. I thoroughly miss our Wake and Jake morning show polls and our discussion topics.
The polls were always fun.
I miss knowing whether you're a spaghetti or a linguine person, or whether.
I don't think we ever did that one, but
I mean, we had to have.
We
did
could have.
so many of them.
We did a lot.
Yeah.
We had to think of, we used to do a listener poll every single morning.
Yep.
We'd post the poll on our Facebook page, and it would just usually one thing against the other.
Yep.
And we would ask, do you like hamburgers or hot dogs? Or obviously,
or Backstreet Boys.
it wasn't anything real in depth, but it was at least fun to
Except
talk
for the
about.
day that you're like, the two I remember, one should just be allowed to talk about the Kardashians. That one was nixed really fast, guys. And I'm really upset about that because I thought for sure y'all would come through.
You still can't talk about Kardashians
I do
on this show.
Oh.
You can't, That's again.
That's just...
Are you watching the new show?
No.
The one on Hulu?
No.
No?
But
Why not?
I do love the Pete Davidson part of the life now. He's super cute to watch when he's interacting with that aspect. But
he's not a part of the show,
I don't think. I don't know. I'm not watching it,
He
though.
was. I remember reading he was advised not to be on the show.
Well, good. Let him do his own thing then.
Well,
her have
I
her
mean,
empire.
regardless, he's still in the Kardashians world.
Oh, yeah. Met Gala, red carpet, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still talk about them like today. I did mention them. Every time I mention them, I giggle inside. Jake LaMore. I'm talking about the Kardashians. But yeah, I was honestly trying to think of my absolute favorite. And it's not that your last day was my favorite, but the festivities were my favorite. I loved you. I loved the birthdays.
You made the birthdays were fun. You always made me feel very special on my birthday.
I loved your interpretive gift giving. Give her a Studley man or something. He gives me an Iron Man figurine.
I think I did this. I did this 2 years in a row. I had I asked listeners what I should get Bess Jess for her birthday.
Yep.
And the first year we did it, someone said
a boy toy.
a boy toy.
Yep.
So I got you a little Iron Man action figure.
A toy for a boy.
A boy. And then I don't know if did someone say a pacifier or...
God, I feel like that was just your personal choice.
I don't think so.
I think you were just like, we're going to toss this in for good measure.
Well, regardless, I got you a pacifier.
Yeah, I still hang it up on my desk.
Do you really?
In case
Is
of
it still there?
emergencies,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
In case of emergencies, I'm sure Chris Nichols wants to grab that every day. Because I just chat away in the hallway and people are trying to record and I'm just like, everything's great.
Yeah. I mean, there were times that I know I would get mad.
Yeah.
Because we would be talking on the air about something and you would talk for so long that I didn't get to say what I wanted to say on the air and we had to get back to a song.
And it's your show too. So like...
So it was just because, since it's a music station, they don't want you to. We can't talk. They would let us talk a little bit longer in the mornings because it was a morning show. But generally, you're not talking. You can't just talk it for as long as you want. You can't just say, "Okay, we're going to talk for 20 minutes, and then we'll play a song." It's like, no.
Yeah. The whole talk thing is mostly like the talk radio,
a talk
or
radio,
the podcast.
or a podcast. That's where you're going to talk in depth or in length.
Yeah.
And I mean, even in a talk show on the radio can be kind of restricting. But regardless,
can't go on forever.
So I remember there were times where you would talk so long I didn't get to say what I wanted to say about whatever topic, and then I would be like, okay, and then here's Cardi B, and then I would turn the microphones off and you would say, how come you didn't say anything?
Because I talked for 20 minutes. I still get yelled at for talking too much, by the way. I just do.
I mean,
ramble on.
It's an easy thing to do.
I need to get my peeps in there and my that's rights in there and my yes. Need to get all my pizzazz in there.
It's funny you're talking about filler words because we all have them.
Yeah.
And I know when I listen back to, I guess on the air, but particularly when I listen back to this podcast, one filler phrase I say all the time is, I was going to say, or, well, I was going to say. I say that all the time. And I'm constantly trying not to
say it.
Not to say.
I think I
was going to say.
That's what I'm saying. I think I say that a lot. That's what I'm saying. Because everything, it starts with, a sentence starts and ends with that.
You know.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, and you know.
You know.
You know. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, there's the all rights. You like saying peeps.
I did.
Which...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Every time someone says peeps to me, I'm like, Jake LaMore told me a long time ago to stop saying peeps. It's like my one defiant move that, like, some people are like, yeah, Jess, you keep your peeps. Other people are like, well, Jake LaMore knows what he's talking about, so.
Well, I should mention, I mean, what is it, 3 years in a row now? You've been nominated Reader's Choice for, is it radio DJ? Mm-hmm. What's the category they call it?
It's Best Local Radio DJ.
That's what it is.
Because there is the
Daily
special
Journal.
Occasion or event DJ, which always seems to get Denny Case, which he wasn't doing, but now he kind of does, so it's fine. But anyways.
Yeah, I think it's just because the demographic of Daily Journal listeners all remember Denny from his days doing Cool Cat and the Top Hat, so they automatically think, oh, well... Denny Case, of course.
Yep. And that's how I know him, is Cool Cat in the Top Hat. I used to do karaoke with him literally all the time. It was my favorite. But
I literally know him from, well, we lived close to each other as kids for a short time, but I honestly didn't know him until the radio.
And then you guys were super close on River Country. You would like do your cute little backward shirt day and do all that fun stuff. Every once in a while when I catch you two talking in the afternoons, I'm like, look at them. They're back together. It's so exciting. But yeah,
3 years in a row now, right? For the Daily Journal's Reader's Choice.
I'm really honored. I honestly am. I'm surprised every year, but I do need to see who's voting. I'm going to have to need, is it my mom over? No, it's not. She hasn't.
It's your dad.
There's got to be one person that just votes all the time, because it's okay. I don't get it, but it's fine. I'm honored. Yes, I'm very honored, and it is kind of hard. You know, being on radio, as you know, you put so much out there for the invisible crowd, essentially. To me, my jokes are hysterical, and I'm always funny. But it doesn't mean that anyone else thinks that way, you know? My satire. Today I made a joke about being interested in garbage, and I got like 3 text messages about it. So, you know, just, you never know when something you say is going to land or not. And so I never know. I just assume I'm, you know, just doing the best I can, and I try to remember what you guys all teach me, because you guys all teach me so much. So. Yeah.
What are some things you think about when you think about starting? Because I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm getting close to 10 years in broadcasting, but you are what, 3, 4?
Yep. I'm in. Yep.
As far as being on the air goes.
Yeah. About a little over 3.
Yeah. So for you, what things stick out in your mind
that I have to follow?
Well, not just that, but just from, you know, the start and along the way and until now. What are the things that stick out in your mind as far as when you first started to now being, you know, 3 or 4 years in at this point?
I'm a little more comfortable. I find that I love that. I'm a little more comfortable now with just if I screw up or I say something dumb, I don't beat myself up about it, just because so many people say dumb things and so many people screw up, and it's just one of those personable moments that makes you who you are. But I think I just value where I'm at so much, just because of how kind of hard it was to get there. I mean, I was on air with you for an hour every day, but I was full-time in sales for the radio station, making pretty good money, but that was my main focus. So I had to drop that to do the radio, and I was just doing that 1 hour a day for so long, and trying to make ends meet with my other jobs, and just trying to get more time on air. And it took a while, but eventually they gave me more time, and then some more time, and it's just been a climb, but it feels good to kind of, you know, keep learning new things and keep advancing a little bit, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope. And I love meeting new people. I love hearing that anyone enjoys what I have to say, or that I provide any sort of, you know, feeling or comfort for them. You know, I do have some people that I know that they like certain songs. It reminds them of certain people, and I try to always play it for them, or give them a shout out or something like that. But I care about the people that care about me as much as I possibly can, because I wouldn't be able to do this otherwise. So
yeah. When you were a kid, what did you want to do though?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it wasn't what were you interested in? Obviously, you were in softball a lot. You played softball a lot.
Yeah.
But you also did other things, though, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you didn't really play, or you didn't really toy around with acting, or
I was a brownie once.
You were... That's not acting.
I was a brownie in the KBTA once.
Oh, you were...
Yeah,
wait.
I did musicals and stuff when I was
So you did?
younger.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
I did me and my girlfriend in grade school, we did Annie for the talent show. Like a full-on production of Annie was fantastic. But no, I did like the little KBTA musicals, like the Christmas Carol and I think Ramona Flowers or something. Ramona, yeah.
I think, yeah.
It was
remember
way
that one.
back when. But yeah, I think I was just always so busy with sports that I really didn't have any time for a lot of the acting and stuff. I loved gymnastics. That was like my favorite thing growing up. I loved to flip around and do all that fun stuff. But if kids are listening, do your schoolwork, okay? Because my parents were like, your grades are awful. You must stop. So.
Well, and there was the time where you did a competition.
Oh, yeah, for the pageant.
The pageant,
Yeah.
yes.
And another life lesson, if you're going to enter a pageant, just to enter one and you think it's big and they're not going to call you, maybe rethink that. Because they might call you and then all of a sudden you're in a Miss Illinois pageant at 18. Now, I think the cutoff was like 26, so I'm 18.
They go that...
I want to say it was like 25 or 26, but yeah.
I didn't realize they went that old.
Well, they have
Not that 25 is old,
Well, yeah.
but you know what I mean.
Well, they have the teen. So the teen goes up to like 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then they have the 18 to like whatever is the actual Miss Illinois, or I think it's like 25 or something. So I'm there. I'm a nice person. I did community service once because some girl on my volleyball team hit a kid in the eye with a sucker stem. But then you're with all these professional pageant women. They're 25 years old. They have been doing humanitarian efforts their whole life. This is their 17th pageant. And they are professionals. And you're basically just like a freshman in gym class at this pageant.
I hate that feeling.
Yes, but it was an experience. I have the pictures to cherish that moment forever. I used to have a DVD, but I don't think I have that anymore. But yeah, we had the opening number. We had the swimsuit. We had the interview round. It was the Donald Trump pageant, it was super official.
It was the Donald Trump pageant.
Yeah, I had to go, Jessica Bessette, 18, St. Anne, and then sashay away like it was the greatest day of my life. But like I said, it was fun.
Did you say, hey, peeps, and it's your girl?
No, that was back in the day before the peeps were born. I have no idea where that came from at all. But now it's in my everyday life.
What I also love about the fact you say peeps all the time is that you actually don't like the candy Peeps.
I don't like Peeps.
And I'm always saying, where are the Peeps?
Yeah.
You don't like Peeps. Yep. I love Peeps.
I know. It's
delicious.
So weird. But that made sense. So I went to visit my Club Thursday peeps, my group of individuals from River Valley Special Rec. They listen every Thursday. Usually they're on break right now, but they call in with requests. They always send me videos. It's so much fun. So I went and visited them on their last session day. And I went somewhere to get like cupcakes, and they were really busy, so I didn't have time to wait for them. So I just ran through a place real quick, and they gave me this box of cookies. I ordered like sugar cookies. I didn't ask for any certain kind, and it was a box of Peep cookies, like multicolored Peeps. And I was like, this is the greatest moment of my life.
Gosh.
So yeah, I had Peep cookies from my Peeps. It was great.
But you didn't eat one, though.
No, I gave them all. Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, I don't like Peeps, though.
I think my son still has some.
I'm trying to think of what
upstairs.
you don't like that's weird that I like, and I can't remember.
I'm sure there's all kinds of...
Is it pickles, or do you like pickles?
I don't like pickles.
Yeah, I do remember making you eat the pickle cotton candy.
Yeah, that was pretty gross.
Yeah, that was fun.
The
That was fun.
Yeah. That's what she said.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh gosh, that was awful.
Oh, but we started off after. So I do want to say real quick, my first job ever, because you talked about your picnic and it made me think of my first job.
Oh yeah.
I was a dilly dipper. Remember?
Oh yes, you were also a dilly dipper.
For
That's
three,
right.
3 hours a week, I stood in the corner of the Dairy Queen and I dipped the dilly bars and whatever designated chocolate they were supposed to be dipped in.
Right,
and then I put them in the freezer.
Flavors,
yep.
Yeah.
So, think about that as you're having your dilly bar eating contest.
I am going to be, we're actually going to be, for the podcast, we're going to be doing a video, behind the scenes video soon on how dilly bars are made.
So you're going to find out where my step came in.
Yeah.
So you're going to be like, stood there. Just stood right here for 3 hours a day.
Yep. I'm gonna find it all out. But yeah, I'm glad you brought up the picnic again. So for anyone that's watching the live stream, and of course, even if you're listening to this podcast episode before Sunday, May 15th, just a reminder, once again, the picnic at the Kankakee County Museum this Sunday, May 15th. We got a scavenger hunt. We got the dilly bar eating contest. Mia Bella's Woodfire Pizza is going to be there. We got bags. It's going to be a
Bounce
great
house.
day. It's bounce house.
Yes.
It's free. I mean, donations are always encouraged, but it's free.
Yeah.
We'll have podcast merch on sale as well.
See, that's awesome. You're having a free event for the community. Look at you.
Well,
you would have been
trying
very.
to.
You would have done
I'm
really
just
well
hoping-
in that pageant.
Oh, yeah, right.
Jake LaMore.
Not with this face. Are you kidding me?
No, put you in a suit, man. Put you in a suit with some high heels.
Put you in a suit. That was my parody of Blaming Our Juice by Lizzo.
I was going suit and tie with Justin Timberlake in my brain on that one.
I don't know. Lizzo. I think I heard Lizzo earlier today, and that's why.
You can't go anywhere without hearing Lizzo.
Yeah, it's true.
I do have to ask you, are you on TikTok yet?
So there is a Kankakee podcast TikTok,
Yeah.
and then there's a TikTok for Pop Punk and Pizza, but I don't have a personal TikTok. So like anything I've posted has just been like snippets of the podcast. But no, I haven't like as making one for myself and doing anything uber ridiculous. I have not done that yet.
Just didn't know if the vibe had struck you yet.
Well, I mean, it struck me. I'm trying to get into the world, but I haven't made the full commitment yet.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Once you dive all the way in there, you cannot get back out.
Well, I'm really, that's one of my goals this year is to dive into it more, is just because there's just seems to be a lot more engagement on TikTok versus, and it's funny, I say that as we're live streaming on Facebook.
Oh. Lies, we say.
There's just, there's more engagement, more response, more, seems to be more benefits to TikTok versus Facebook.
I kind of hate that because once you learned how to master Zanga, I believe is what it was, that journal thing, then you had MySpace to think about. And then once you mastered MySpace, they threw in Facebook. Then after Facebook, they threw in Instagram and Twitter, and now there's TikTok and Snapchat. And you have to be good at all of them to be good at your job or to be good at
there's LinkedIn.
things. And it's like, man, I don't even know how to use that. I just can't. I still don't have a Twitter. Don't even get me.
Then there's Twitter, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But it does have its benefits. So I will say that about 2 years ago, I started following this radio personality named Bruno in Michigan, just because he was a younger guy. And we
don't talk about Bruno. I know. Sorry.
I'm so sorry. Whatever his name is then. He just had a really great energy, had a great presence, and people just really liked him. And within like a year, he had gotten a job offer in L.A. He's now on one of the top radio stations in L.A. He's hanging out with the Joe Bros. Harry Styles gives him shout outs all the time. And it's just crazy. It's all because he was the top radio person on TikTok. That's all it was. He got that huge presence on TikTok, and then they all loved him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The TikTok, if you do it right, seems to help.
Makes me feel like an old person because I'm like, I don't want to figure that out.
I'm still trying to figure it out. And I mean, I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, there's no rush.
Yeah.
No rush. I watch a lot of food. Very important instructions. I watch a lot of food and food videos and a lot of stuff for work. And there's a lot of places that I want to go in Chicago or to travel that I'll probably never go to. But I just keep saving them for future references. One day I'll go somewhere fun.
So what else do you want to get out there on this podcast?
Oh my God.
What else do you want people to know, or what are your thoughts and views on Kankakee County?
Oh man, I thought you said there was no homework involved.
There's no homework, but
yeah.
I gotta at least ask that question because we talk about the people and places of Kankakee County.
Very true.
That's our thing. I know we shared a lot of stories about our time together on Wake and Jake, which I feel like we barely scratched the surface on that, which is absolutely fine because, people don't need to know all of
you got to live it, all right?
But, and if anyone still watching the live stream has any questions, by all means, you can chime in at any moment. I should have said that at the beginning of this, huh?
If you have any questions.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on Kankakee County?
I love, so obviously with anywhere you live, you hear, negative and positive comments, but I 100% disagree because I love the progression that is happening with Kankakee County. You've got all these fun new businesses that are being opened by excited and energetic and just people that want to offer this community something better, something interesting, something different, just for people to do. Like, no matter what, if my mom has the kids, I have so many options to toss out there about bringing the kids here, there, everywhere. My cousin was just in town from Alabama. She was like, is there a cute local shop that sells like art or homemade products from your local people? And I'm like, yeah, go to Moon Cookie or whatever. Yeah, there's all these wonderful places where that display all these creative outlets for people in this community, which I find to be so great. Because I don't know about you, but growing up, I just always thought there was one avenue. It was like, you go to college, you're going to be like, no, I wasn't being an urban planner. Let's put that out there. I wasn't being an urban planner.
When you started going to KCC, you were going to be an urban planter?
No, in high school, I wanted to be an urban planner. Then I wanted to be a photographer at KCC. But urban planner was just what a career day taught me. It was just like, hey, you should be an urban planner, so I went with it,
I would have loved to have seen you be an urban planner.
I could be bossy.
Yeah?
Build that building there. Not over there, over there. But no, it's just, I didn't really know that there was a creative avenue. I didn't know there was an outlet or just a place to be yourself and to excel and be valued. And I've just gotten so much immense support from other fellow people in this community. Like, I have so many people that reach out and just say the nicest of things to me. And I just feel like I'm doing the best I can. So, and they're all crushing it. Like Sarah Marion, I mean, she is so inspirational. She is her cute, authentic, amazing self, yet she runs an amazing thing. She offers Mantino so many amazing things as well.
Executive director of the chamber.
And Kankakee has so much to offer as well. We have that, the downtown is now improving. The farmers market just opened up. And it's just, I'm so excited about all of that.
That's right.
Honestly.
It was just the first
Yes.
weekend, last weekend, Mother's Day weekend, which is a great time to open up the farmers market.
Perfect, for sure. And then this weather following that week just is beautiful. So
this week has been crazy with the weather.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was so I actually turned the air on today.
Oh yeah. I turned my air on. It's set to 73 and it's 83 in my home.
Oh wow.
So I've got to figure that out. But other than that, But I don't know if that's what you were asking just because I wasn't prepared.
No, that's fine. What's like your favorite hidden gem of Kankakee County? Like, what's your favorite?
It would have been my old house.
Yeah.
Honestly. And that sounds so silly because it's not like a place, it's not a business, I guess, that you're probably trying to say here, but it's a close-knit family little community that I used to live in that was like hidden off the beaten path, right on the river. It was just, I love the homey aspect. You've got the busy bustling of the downtown area, and then you can go out just a little bit down 113 or 102 or just even a little bit further out, and you're in this nice, quiet little comfortable neighborhood with families. However, are you asking for businesses? That's my favorite hidden gem.
No, I'm not asking for. I'm asking for anything.
Can you be my favorite hidden gem?
No.
Okay.
You don't want that.
Then that is my answer right there. That is my answer. It's the quiet and the beautiful picturesque places like the state park and all those nice, like I said,
the river.
Places. Yeah, all those nice, calming, beautiful places. In this area. So.
I agree. The river is central to everything. I mean, that's why we're here. Yep. That's why we settled here. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why the Native Americans were here too. So, and that's why we're like, oh, they're here. They must be here for a reason. Let's stay here too. Let's figure that out.
Yep. So. And there's always so much to do in this town. There really is. There's so many different organizations that are throwing events either to benefit the community or their organization itself. So, I mean, there's just always something fun to do here. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, thank you for
I would have prepared that answer.
No.
I'm stressing out.
You can't prepare for everything in life.
So that's like a C or like a B?
What? No one's grading you.
Okay. Sorry.
No one's grading.
Sorry. My bad.
Yeah, no one's grading you. But this has been so much fun. I'm glad we got a chance to catch up and
Me too.
And talk on microphones together again. That was fun. I do miss it.
I was like, I thoroughly miss you.
I do miss the morning show a lot.
Yeah.
It was it was just getting hard to do because shout out to my mom. She made that show possible because, or one of the people that made it possible because she watched Owen early in the morning so that I could go to work. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened because Owen's mom worked nights. Yeah. So there was no way. She was still at work when I needed to leave for work. So that's why my mom had to step in because her and I were on opposite schedules.
Yeah.
So
and you
it
guys
just
really
didn't
did
work.
do that very well. Whenever there was an issue or something, I feel like you guys kind of helped each other out. And yeah. And your mom is an angel. Remember she brought us like a
she's a
ton of
saint.
tacos one morning, like breakfast burritos?
Breakfast burritos from Taco John's.
that was-
Yeah, shout out to Taco John's. Yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you. So
Yeah,
fantastic.
there you go. Yeah.
So fantastic.
They have like the best breakfast burritos.
Oh my gosh, they
They're
do.
so good. But yeah, obviously my mom and you know, and Tim Milner and Chris Nichols and Jim Brandt and you and I mean everyone that you know gave us the opportunity to have fun.
Oh, for
in the
sure.
morning. So,
I think of you thoroughly every day, basically, just because you're
that's
the reason.
what she said.
Sorry, Lizzie. Think about him in the office, guys. In the office. All right, it's not a romantic location.
Oh man.
But you are the reason I'm on air to begin with. Like, yeah, I kind of bugged. I think I bugged people for a while about wanting to be on air, but no one was ever.
You sat in with Kate Douglas all those years ago.
Yeah, but then like I left. I was fired. That time had been forgotten. And then while I was doing sales, you know, writing raps about rent-to-own furniture and stuff, I wanted to be on air. So it was you. You were the one that wanted something, and you suggested me. So I'm so grateful. And then you taught me all that you could.
And you put up with my my attitude in the morning.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. My dating life has been a roller coaster ride from beyond, and you put up with a lot of that.
I had to hear it. I did. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I love telling the story. I did benefit from it.
Oh, good.
This was before we hosted the morning show together, and you were a sales rep, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. Remember those shirts you bought from Old Navy for your
Yeah,
the guy? I
the
don't know if he
man
was
in
a
my life.
boyfriend. Whatever situation it was at the time, you were seeing him,
Yep.
and you had bought him these shirts. But then, unfortunately, it didn't work out. You guys weren't seeing each other anymore, and you approached me one day at work, and you're like, "Hey, Jake, yeah, so didn't work out with that guy. I've got these shirts I bought him. You know, you can have them if you want them." And you were just going to give them to me, but I'm like, no, you got to have some money for them. They're, you know, brand new shirts
Yeah.
from Old Navy. So, and I still wear them to this day.
They
on
look
a
fantastic. That's what I'm saying. It was meant to be.
I wish I would have wore a Bess Jess. And every time, you know, I one of the last times I wore one, Lizzie, my girlfriend, commented. She's like, "Oh, I really like that shirt." I'm like, "Thanks, it's a Bess Jess shirt."
That's right.
You know, I think I have 3 of them.
Just the
I
remnants
think.
of my
or
torrid
maybe
dating
it's
past.
2 or 3
Two.
Bess Jess shirts.
I know there's the
Yeah.
T-shirt.
There is the T-shirt.
Yep, and then the
It's
button
very
down.
soft.
Yeah, the
and then
button down.
there is the button down. So maybe it was just 2.
Yeah.
But regardless, thank
Yeah.
you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for that. See,
Thank
I
you.
benefit from your horrible dating life.
Someone's got to. So far, I'm seeing that they're benefiting because I'm leaving my awesome chairs at their houses. Every one of them. I leave my awesome chair, my folding chair that
That's
I bring.
right. I remember that.
Oh, it's still going on. It is still going on. In fall,
You got to stop doing that.
If
Yeah,
you're,
just
if you're
don't.
listening, guy I was hanging out with in the fall, is my chair in your car? Because I can't find it. And then Campbell, the one from Indiana, just sent me a picture of his nephew sitting in my chair the other day. Like, my nephew loves your chair. I'm like, oh, that's where that one is.
Bro,
Okay.
I need my chair back.
I steal their hoodies. They steal my chairs. It's fine.
Kyle Joyner says, Bess, Jess, and Jake together again. Yes.
Yay!
Thank you for watching, Kyle. We miss talking with you in the mornings.
I miss seeing people's names pop up, like Kyle and Chuck.
And
Yeah.
Lizzie says, I honestly love those shirts. So thanks, Bess, Jess.
Yay! You're welcome. We're also going to give a special shout out to Robert for not
man.
sticking around.
Yeah, is that who that was?
Yeah.
I mean, that was literally like 2018
Yep.
probably.
We're still friends. We're friends now, but yeah.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, man.
Heck yeah.
I just need to have you do my shopping for me,
Okay.
maybe,
Aw.
since that worked out so well.
Okay. I mean, I can't shop for myself. I might as well shop for someone
I
else.
can't shop for myself either, so.
Well, I mean, I
but,
just can't afford to shop for
No,
myself.
that's my
Oh,
problem
okay, cool,
as well.
cool. So-
We have the same issue, yeah.
So what did someone say? They couldn't say sugar daddy earlier, so they called it a glucose guardian. We need a glucose guardian.
Well, we're not diabetic. Wouldn't that be if someone's diabetic?
I don't know. All I know is they
I
said
don't
they
know.
couldn't say
I've
sugar
never-
daddy anymore, so they're calling
I've-
someone a glucose guardian.
I've never heard that before.
Or whatever, but
So yeah, thank you so much again, Bess Jess.
thanks for having
This-
me.
this
I'm
has
so
been
honored.
amazing.
I'm a nerd. I'm so honored to be here.
Oh, and you're wearing your Wake and Jake
Yes.
shirt. Oh, I should mention that too. We still do have Wake and Jake T-shirts and coffee for sale at KankakeePodcast.com. And if you use the coupon code Wake and Jake, you get 50% off.
Awesome.
So, because, I mean, once all this stuff is gone, it's gone. I'm not printing anymore. And that's not a sales pitch. That's
That's just it.
That's just legit. Like, there's, I mean, there's, when I had the shirts printed up and the mugs printed up, because all the coffee mugs are gone. So when I had the coffee mugs made and the shirts made and the coffee made, I had all that made after the show had ended. I did it just as a special edition thing. So it once everything's gone, it's gone.
A limited time only.
Right. So yeah, make sure you hit up KankakeePodcast.com for those and click on shop, and then put in Wake and Jake for 50% off. And then of course our picnic. Once again, I want to mention Sunday, May 15th at the Kankakee County Museum, 1 to 5. We want to thank our sponsors for that. Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Adam Elroy, of course, Noble Dairy Queen, Coldwell Banker Realtor, Allison Ascher, and my mom and dad as well. And, of course, Little Me Studio, Chicago Dough, Hero City Adventure Park, Brookermont Bowling Center, and Classic Cinemas as well for donating prizes for the scavenger hunt prize package. My beautiful girlfriend, Lizzie, for all the things she does. She's my assistant, administrative assistant for the podcast, and she has to put up with me like you had to put up with me.
Thinking that, I was like, just put up with you also. So
yeah, so like probably after this, you two are going to go back upstairs and just talk BS about me, which is fine because it's all true.
Phone numbers, and then we're going to text each other when we need to.
Did Jake ever do this to you? Because
Yes.
he does this to me all the time. And then, of course, our sponsors for the podcast this past year. Thank you all so much for supporting us in this first year and making everything possible. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. So, the KCC Foundation, Gorak's Pest Control, as well as Martial Arts Academy. I did mention, obviously, Noble Dairy Queen already, and Allison Ascher. Seth Burkey, he was a donor to the podcast this last year as well. And Kankakee City News, James Taylor.
I love Mr. James Taylor.
He was a sponsor, as well as Digital World Design was a sponsor this last year. True Heights Treatment. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. I forgot to write all of them down, but I think I got All Automotive.
There you go. Okay. Patrick. Right?
Yes, Patrick Wilder.
He just got married.
He did.
Remember, they were our dedicated listeners in the morning.
Yes.
Lexi.
Well, Lexi.
Yep.
Yes.
So pretty.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to both of you. I hope I'm not missing anybody. And if I'm missing anybody, I apologize. I did not do it on purpose, but I'm just grateful. And of course, most importantly, our listeners and all of our patrons in our patron program as well.
Heck yeah.
So we want to thank each and every one of them for all that they've done to support us. And you, Bess Jess.
Oh, well, thank you.
And you.
Most importantly, congratulations to you, by the way. Kudos to you. No, doing this for a whole year.
Still trying to make it all work. But I just, what I'm just grateful for is everyone's patience, because we've just barely scratched the surface on all the different people we can talk to, or all the stories we can tell, or the places we can talk about. We barely scratched the surface. And I know there's a lot that we haven't gotten to, and it just takes a while. And I'm just, it takes time to collect all these things and get these people together. And so pushing forward into the second year, hopefully we'll be able to get to some more of those things.
Keep going, keep growing. It's nice to see you do what you want to do, whether you love the radio, but still, this is your baby, your project. It's so awesome to watch it grow and to see all the wonderful stories you get to tell. And you've always been really good about highlighting the Kankakee County community, whether you were giving fun history facts or whatever. Like, you were always so good about that. So.
Speaking of, I think one of my favorite days together was when I'm going to forget his real name now.
Oh no, I might remember. Oh, Miko, right?
No,
okay.
A celebrity.
Oh.
He played Sean Hunter in Boy Meets World. What's his real name? Why am I forgetting his real name?
Oh my gosh, I know. It's not Sean Hunter now that you said it out loud. It's not Savage.
No, Ryder Strong.
Ryder Strong.
Gosh, I feel so stupid for forgetting that. But the day Ryder Strong visited Kankakee, and he was here, him and his brother were here for a couple days at least, or maybe it was the whole week, I don't know, but it was at least a couple days, if not a little longer. And we got to talk about that.
Yep.
We didn't get to have him on the show or anything, but
Next time.
I did get in touch with a friend that had met him that day, and so we got information from her, and she let us post the picture she took with him.
He's still super handsome, by the way.
Yeah. Shout out to Hannah. And that was one of my favorite days.
That was a good day,
Yeah,
for sure.
that was a fun day.
For sure.
So,
We have too many fun days.
Yeah.
It could have been the day that I walked upstairs. Remember the COVID separation? It was just a TV tray and a microphone. Not even headphones. And it was just a TV tray and a microphone. It was like, what do we do?
Yeah, that was difficult transitioning into that COVID thing, just like it was for everybody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I completely forgot to mention. So Bess Jess, you're on the air, still 10 to 2.
Yep.
On WFAV Monday through Friday.
Yep.
River Country is 7 to midnight.
7 to midnight, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
So get to do both.
Those are the two places you can find Bess Jess. If you don't like the Justin Biebers, you can listen to the Chris Youngs and the Sam Hunts and the.
Yep. However, the Walker Hayes, they're still on. They're still on both.
Right.
Florida Georgia Line, they're still on both.
Crossovers.
Honestly, so there was a break I introduced today, and it was BB Rexa, Florida Georgia Line, Meant to Be, then Uncle Cracker Smile. And I'm like, this could have been on either one of these stations.
It really could have been.
Because those two songs play all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
they're
wow,
both
look at that.
crossover songs,
Yep.
crossover hits. So
well, congratulations once again. Thank you so much for having me and
Thank
for
you,
all
Bess
you
Jess.
taught me and for giving me my shot to talk to people all day.
You would have done that on your own.
I would have took a really long time, but address all your angry letters to Jake LaMore. It is his fault.
Thanks. I take full
100%.
responsibility for this. It's all my fault. So, all right. Thank you everyone for watching the live stream, or of course, listening to the podcast edition of this on our podcast feed. Thank you for everyone who subscribed and listened.
Yes. Thanks, peeps.
Oh, you had to get that in there. All right. Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, everyone have a great rest of their night and day.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Thankful for waving stories. Hold on to the lifetime we won't get back. I know these rivers carry on. People tend to stick to you after time. Places tend to do the same as we do.